Hi there, this is Ricola. Welcome to this video. In this video I want to show you part of a project that I'm working on, and it is based upon the macro command package. So I've extracted a few commands, and I want to show you something that I've done with it. Um, what I'm doing in the project is I'm doing data analysis on a large amount of text files. So what I normally have is folders with uh, a lot of text files, sometimes thousands of them. And here I created a demo directory because I cannot put this data onto YouTube. But it looks similar like this. And this file is a build-up of blocks, uh, tables, and here another table definition, some data. And what I want to show you in this video is that I'm going to detect this. I call this a block separator. Um, and as you can see, this file has also a block separator, and this one has a little different template because it uses another block separator. And I want to detect it. It has square brackets, a star, and a square bracket. And then it starts over, so a repetition of this combination of characters. And here it's just underscores. So the first thing I need to do is to read those files in this directory. I created a command, sorry, here, get files from there. It's pretty straightforward. I'm not gonna discuss this in detail. What it does is it creates an array of files that's in this directory. I have this app get files from there. Here you see I require the macro command and the Kickstarter, and I pass it the name of the command that I want to run. So I'm not passing in a macro, this is just single mode to show you what's happening with this command. Um, so also it has, when you're running in single mode, you can have a dedicated config file for this command. So get files from there.js, here it is. You can have a get files from there.json config file. If it's not there, it's also okay because it's optional, but you can use it to configure the command. So here I say, okay, I want this directory to be read. Okay, so I say node app get files from there. And when I run it, I get the command result, and it has three keys. It has the command key, as usual, the data and the message. So it says it get files from there, command run. Then the data is an array with the file names or the relative paths to the text files, and a message saying something about this data. It says it's all the files from this directory. Okay, so that's pretty straightforward. But now I want to take it a step further, and that is I want to run a macro and then um, run a macro on each file. So as you can see here in my config.json, I have this. It's this definition, and it has a command sequence of two commands: the get files from there and the spawn kickstarters. And the spawn kickstarters is a command that I created, and this will spawn a kickstarter upon each file in this array. Also, I'm not gonna discuss this in detail. If you want to know how it works, maybe you can have a look here in the node modules directory and see the a macro command that comes with the macro command module, because this pretty much works the same. Maybe I put it on the internet somewhere. Okay, so I have those two commands, and then the configuration for both commands. The get files from there, I have it as you saw before. I point to the directory. It will return the array, and then you have the spawn kickstarters configuration, which, as the previous action said, well, that's logically the get files from there, and it will set this, or it will search for the files key in the context, because that's where the array will be stored by the get files from there command. And then when I read the array, I will create a Kickstarter for each file, and I will put in ID 4. And this is the ID of another macro I have defined here. And you can see it as its own command sequence. So for each file I will run this sequence, read the file, and then I will store the lines into an array, and then I will scan each line for the block separator. And this is configuration. So also I have to define the context key, and this is what the read file will search for in the context. So it needs to know where the file name is, and that will be in this context key. Okay, now it will search for the underscore and a repetition, minimal repetition of 10 underscores. Here I have a little schema so you can see what will happen. You have the application, then macro with ID 5 with the command sequence of 2 commands, the get files from there and spawn kickstarters. The get files from there gets the array with files, puts it in the context. Then the spawn kickstarters also has access to this context and thus to the array. And then it will run a loop and will run a macro for each file. And then this macro as a command sequence with this read file and put the lines into array and detect the block separator. It's not defined here, but it will do it. And you can even go extend it further if you like, and run or spawn commands further in the chain. But you get the idea. And the cool thing about this is that the result will finally get back here through the chain back to your application, and your application has access to all the results when everything is finished. So how big you make this doesn't matter, it will always go back here. So now if I go to my app detect blocks, you can see I have the Kickstarter, and I will run macro 5. First I will do, this. Say node app underscore detect blocks. Okay, when I run it, you see I get a warning. There are no block separators found in this file. That's right, because it has this this block separator, and it's different from this one, and it searches now for the underscore. So if I change the configuration, go to my config file and here, and I say something like this. Let's see. Now it should give me 2 warnings for the underscore block separators. As you can see, now it doesn't detect the other template. Okay, now I want to show you the output. So I go back to my app detect blocks, log this to the console, and To make it more readable, I do this output.json. So it will put the output into a file. Here you have it. So, and here you have everything formatted so it's nicer to read. As you can see, we started with a macro and with the command sequence of the get files from there and the spawn kickstarters. So the get files from there has this array, and then the spawn kickstarters will run macro ID4 for each file. So it starts with its sequence, reading the file. You get the file content, then it puts it with this command lines to array, puts each line into an array, and then you see it has not detected any block separators because it was configured not to find the underscore but the brackets. So when I go here you see the file with the brackets, also the lines to array, and then you see it has detected tree, and you see the nesting. So this is the result, and it's pretty cool. I use this a lot, and it's a very powerful mechanism. And what I wanted to accomplish with this video is show you the concept, so not really all the details about these commands that I use, but more what you can do with the macro command. So hopefully this was helpful and you can build your own applications and make use of the macro command package. Well, thank you for watching, and see you in one of my next videos. Goodbye.